final 200 meter frisim. Bra start på Anders.
Han har en bra start även i morse. Det är någon detaljerna förbättrat.
Nerifrån i bilden Dolby USA, Vojda, Sajanovic, Jörtsen, Holmers, Lamberti, Säsner och här. Och här är redan efter 30 meter simning en bit efter. Men Holmers är bra med.
Det är Lamberti och Holmers som drar upp tempot här faktiskt. Och det är Lamberti som vänder först på 25,11.
Det är världsrekordtempo. Det är under världsrekordet. Det ser ni i bild.
Det är faktiskt Anders som får över fötterna lite snabbare än Lamberti.
Jag tycker att Holmers simmar bättre, snyggare, lugnare och ändå fortare än i försöken.
Betydligt längre armtag nu och han har mer rytmisk benspark. Det gäller nu att benen kommer igång ordentligt efter vändningen.
Det ser bra ut för Holmers är i ledningen efter 100 meter.
52,28. Fortfarande under världsrekordtempo.
Men han hade 52,22 när han vann Europacupen. Och Lamberti ligger bra med. Jag tycker Lamberti ligger och bevakar Holmers. Och efter 125 meter så tycker jag Lamberti ser ut som en presumtiv segrare.
Säsner också på väg upp här bredvid Lamberti.
Men Jörtsen är inte alls med i täten. Och nu är det bara 50 meter kvar. Och Holmers och Lamberti är jämsides. Lamberti kanske lite före.
1:20,21. Holmers är 1200 delar efter.
Men nu är man en bra bit över världsrekordet. Det gick ganska långsamt. Och nu tappar Holmers lite grann. Och nu är det Lamberti som är i ledningen. Och Säsner eller Holmers, 25 meter kvar, är på silverplats. Holmers kommer kanske att ta medalj. Men det blir inte guld. Jag tror inte det blir silver. För Lamberti, Europamästaren, kommer att vinna VM också. Och Holmers kan bli trea i bästa fall.
Lamberti 1:47,27 före Säsner och bronsmedaljen går till Polen. Artur Vojdat 1:48,70. Och Anders kroknar lite och kommer då fjärde plats.
Säsner 1:48,28, Vojdat 1:48,70, Holmers 4, 1:49,05. Sajanovic blir femma. Amerikanarna misslyckas kapitalt. Jörtsen, som var bäst i försöken, är sämst i finalen. Dolby 6 och här 7.
Detroit 6-0 genom.
In the 1920s to 5:14, then down to 4:50 in 1930, 4:38 by 1940, and then into the 70s it improved to 4:02, and look, in the 1990s it's under 3 minutes 50. And the fastest qualifiers qualifying for this event, just over 3 minutes 50, as Drew said. The swimmers that we can see there on the start list really using the final as one to go after the world record, but heats is just a experimentation, going out, negative splitting this race. And I think Vojdat, who is swimming tense these men are. And they're away, clear this time. And it's Vojdat in lane number 4 with that lovely relaxed front crawl, just edging into an early lead with Stefan Pfeiffer in lane number 6 of Germany. And at the top of the picture, Anders Holmers, who has to take it out hard because he doesn't have the finishing power like Vojdat from Poland in lane number 4. But it's Vojdat from Poland. Nice shot there of the tumble turn onto the wall, head down, off the wall, and kicking hard into the stroke. So it's Vojdat in lane number 4, leading down this second lane.
The 400-meter swimmer, generally slightly smaller than the sprint event. Holmertz, much better performances over the last couple of years on the 200 meters event, and he takes it out usually quite hard. So the battle at the moment is Holmertz in lane 8 for Sweden with the yellow cap. And lane number 5 coming through, Jorge Hoffman, who obviously performed very well to be second fastest qualifier in this final.
So Hoffman reckons that he's going to have to go out hard if he's going to split this field. That's a nice shot. You can see Hoffman right in the middle of the picture. Also with Daniel Jorgensen at the bottom of the picture. They're beginning to increase the revs a little bit. Good turn there by Hoffman. He's very strong off the wall. So it's Holmertz in lane 8 at the top of the picture with the yellow cap on. In the middle of the picture is Hoffman from Germany. And at the bottom of the picture there is Daniel Jorgensen. So it's these three men setting the pace of this race. Artur Vojdat from Poland. He's just sitting back, So we can see the tactics already come into this race. Voidat looks like he's playing a clever waiting game. We know that he's got a tremendous finishing kick, and he's letting this man, Hoffman, lead and dictate the race. And I think that's a clever move from Voidat. He doesn't want to let Hoffman get too far, because Hoffman also quite a good sprinter down the last 50.
So Hoffman with that breathing every two there. This, although it's 400 metres and usually classed as a middle distance event, it is certainly a tough event for the swimmers. They've got to keep this tremendous pace on for almost 4 minutes of physical effort. Now we can see Voidat just making a slight move up onto Hoffman's trunks there. There's Hoffman with the turn, close to the lane ropes. Voidat now will have to start making his move. And here he comes now.
And this is where the more tactically astute swimmers, Voidat in 4 and Pfeiffer in lane 6, are making the move on the less experienced Jörg Hoffman in lane 5. Now this is a tremendous tactical race by Hoffman. The race is going to be between those three men turning right at the same time. It's Pfeiffer in 6 at the top, Hoffman in 5 in the middle, and Voidat 4. And the race is really on between these three. Hoffman certainly isn't giving up. He's increased his kick. Voidat doesn't look like he's got it. Hoffman, who led and went out extremely fast, is going to take the gold. Voidat is beginning to tire. What a tremendous last leg battle by this man. Look at Hoffman, gets the gold. Burnt off the challenge by Voidat. It looked like the silver went to Pfeiffer, and the gold going to Hoffman. The silver
Minute barrier.
And there's a start list for you to study. Plowinski, the fastest qualifier, right in the middle in lane 4. But the two powerful Chinese, one's in 3. So he had to rush onto the blocks there. And they're away clear, and that was a tremendous start by Hong Wan in lane number 3, straight into a stroke, and she's got a half a body lead over the rest of the field. But also Inge de Bruyn in lane number 1 got a good start, but that tremendous explosion off the block by the Chinese girl got her there. But here now comes Catherine Plowinski from France in lane number 4. So it's Plowinski's going to reach that wall first.
It's an excellent first leg. It's only 700ths out of that excellent record by Mary T. Meyer in 1981. So Plowinski going for the sprint, but the others are now pulling her back. It's Catherine Plowinski is losing it to Zhong Wang and Julie Gorman, and it's now in a line for this last 10 meters.
So it looks like the Chinese girl in lane 3 is coming strong again, Hong Wan. The challenge from Wang in lane 6 has died. It looks like Hong Wan in lane number 3 is going to get that. 59.68 the time. So Hong Wan picking up the gold, Zihong Wang the silver, both from China, and Plowinski with the bronze. So quite improved to 104. 1980 went down to 59.26, and it now presently stands at that 57.93. See Nick, however, just maybe extend the stroke a little bit more. He doesn't seem to get the head forward too much, and remember the law now is that you can get the head straight underwater. But there we have the start list, and it's an exciting race this for me. It's nice to sort of remember champion in lane 3, Joseph Szabo from Hungary. They're under starters orders, and they're away clear. Szabo in 3 got a great start, as did Mike Barrowman in 4. Barrowman's first to come up. Now, what are we going to see Barrowman do, the world record holder? He's got Rosa going out with him. Rosa is going absolutely daft on the first 50. This can't be good tactics for Rosa, but he's going with Barrowman. He fancies he can take the world record holder on. So up the first 50, it's Rosa in 7 and Barrowman, both turning neck and neck, but it's Barrowman under world record pace.
Well, if we were looking for a race and a commitment from Barrowman, he certainly answered our questions about his ability there in the white hat in lane number 4. The fastest qualifier, setting a world championship record in the heats of 2:13. Mike Barrowman, also coached by a coach from Hungary. So we're seeing the Hungarian style coming through in various forms. So it's Barman to the 100.
So this is good for Nick Gillingham in lane 5. Gillingham now going to move over onto the lane rope, but Barman is 0.82 under the world record. That's nearly a second under world record pace. This is an extraordinary swim by Barman. They are going to close the gap. Barman must know something different because he really is committing himself to this race. Barman in first place, Rosa in lane 7 in second, but Barman still with a body length of a lead. And I don't think they're going to be able to catch up. But look at Rosa in 7. He's the man ideally placed. If anybody's going to catch Barman, it's going to be him. Gillingham in third. Joseph Zaba in fourth. There's 30 metres to go.
What a tremendous commitment by Mike Barman. Now it's the charge for the finish. Barman, can he hold on? Will he die? Here comes Rosa. That fantastic finish from the 100, but I just don't think he has enough distance in the pool left.
Well, there's only 15 metres to go. Barman's holding on. Rosa is coming hard. 10 metres to go. Barman is going to get to the goal. But look at Rosa, this young 18-year-old from Hungary, picks up the silver. And I think it was Nick Gillingham from Great Britain with the bronze. But it's a new world record from Mike Barman. He takes that world record by 3:12.03. Nick Gillingham from Great Britain with the bronze, 2:13.12. And where the world record was 3:09, it's some nearly a minute faster than that now. 1920 went down to 2:54. It improved in the 30s. The 40s it went down another 7 seconds. In the 50s it was 28. And then in 80 it went to 2:50.
But surprisingly, depending on the fitness of the swimmer in lane 7, Danglakova, who is in fact the Olympic champion at this event, and she has a best of the 107, very close to that world record.
Yeah, she's just 4 100ths outside that world record. She's been there way clear. That was quite a quick start from the referee. Didn't really give them time to settle. But it looks like Kelty Duggan in lane 2 and Lindley Frame in lane number 4 are really motoring up this first 50. Also in lane number 6, it's a 27-year-old Tracy McFarlane. But Lindley Frame, again, committing herself to this race with Kelty Duggan of Canada in 2. Volkova in lane 5, keeping back a little bit. She's going to be last at the turn, but watch her down the last 50.
Well, Lindley Frame with the Australian crowd behind her, taking it out very, very fast, 32.52. The American Tracy McFarlane chasing her, and Frame looking really good at this stage in the race. No one really near her, but will they be able to pick it up in the last 10 metres?
So Frame's committed herself. The rest of the field are coming for her. She's got the crowd behind her. She's looking good right now. The stroke is beginning to tire up. Manuela Dalla Valle from Italy in 3 is really motoring. But it looks like Lindley Frame has done enough work. Lane 1, Janet Doriez is going to leave it just a little bit too late for the challenge. And the gold goes to Australia. 108.81. Another gutsy swim. She must won. Silver going to Janet Doriez from Germany, 109.35.6. By 1930, it had improved 10 seconds, down to 126.3, just over 10 seconds. And then by 1940, it was down to 120. 1950s, 117.4. And then it didn't get better. It went to 119. There was a change of law then. And then it dropped to 114. And then the 80s, 110. And then in the 90s, and then Germany. So really the race is going to come from those 3 teams. Australia are probably going to be tough, but not tough enough to live with the Americans, the Russians, or the Germans.
In lane 1.
So in lane 1, we're going to have the Canadian team. And there's their 4 members. Van der Meulen, Gary, Hebert and Goss swimming for Canada.
In lane
2, we've got the team from France. Caron, Kaflaen, Neuville, and Gouzet. And I see, Drew, they put off Stefan Caron.
Det är klart. Tyskland kommer att bli problem. Peter Sitt, Dirk Richter, Steffen Tesner och Bengt Karski. Ett starkt tyst lag. Inte ens Gross platsar.
Ja, om man frågar honom så anser han nog att han har plats här, men han har inte summit tillräckligt och kvalar inte in på deras mästerskap. De har bytt ut 2 simmare sedan i morse och kommer bli väldigt starka.
Tyskland på bana 3. USA naturligtvis lite favorit. Med Tom Jager, Doug Jerson, Brent Lang och Matt Biondi. Biondi på slutsträckan. Jager start snabb. Självklart på första sträckan. USA på bana 4. Sovjet, alltid starka i sådana här sammanhang. Prigoda, Bashkatov, Tajanovic och Tjachenko.
Mycket starkt lag och de kommer definitivt vara med och kriga om en silverplats. Kanske de kan hota USA, men vet inte.
Det är våra konkurrenter alltså. Tyskland, USA och Sovjet. Och viss mån också Australien förstås. De var bättre än Sverige i försöken. Feidler, Renshaw, Lang och Andrew Baildon. Baildon vill ha revansch. Han gick till final på 100 meter individuellt. Men har kapacitet. Sverige alltså på bana 7. Så här ser det svenska laget ut i bild. Per Johansson känner ni igen. Längst till höger. Veteranen som är tillbaka. Tommy Werner. Silvermedaljör individuellt. Olmertz. Efter missen på 400 ska han få revansch. Och Lars-Ove Jansson då, Uppsala-killen. Med stöd ifrån en extra plats som ni ser. Och på bana 8 har vi Holland. Skulle du, om du har varit förbundskapten, matchat just de här 4 på samma sätt? Eller skulle Werner ha startat? Nu går Werner på slutsträckan.
Nej, jag tycker om man ska simma de här 4 timmarna tycker jag att det är en helt riktig uppställning. Då har Lars-Ove Jansson första sträckan som är jättesnabb.
Det är Jager för USA, det är Prigoda för Sovjet och det är Jansson för Sverige. Fick han en bra start, Jansson?
Han fick en bra start, men han stod helt still, men han är bra med.
Sverige alltså, det är inte den gula badmössan som är Jansson, det är australiensaren. Jansson utan badmössa alltså på bana 7. Men det går väldigt snabbt för Jager och för Sitt. Det är Tyskland och USA vid 50 meter.
Sitt gör en fruktansvärd öppning. 23.56 på USA, 23.75 på Sovjet. Sverige vänder som fjärde lag, 24.48.
Tycker Jansson är ganska bra med. Ja, 25 meter kvar på första sträckan. Det är USA, Jager, det är Tyskland, Sitt. Och så kommer också bana 3. Bana 2 Frankrike bra också. Och Sovjet, Prigoda är ju bra med. Men Jansson är väl bara 6-7.
USA växlar först 50,6. Sverige växlar på 7:e plats, 51,61.
Aj då höll inte chansningen på Jansson. Det är sämre än hans personbästa. Och det är sämre än de 50 blankt han hade i försöken. Sverige har inte fått en bra start.
Ja, det är nästan en sekund sämre än vad Håkan Karlsson hade i morse på startsträckan.
Vi har tappat en sekund och det kan kosta oss saker och ting. I ledning vid 150 meter.
Det är USA 1.13.55.
Brent Lang före Tyskland på bana 3. Sovjet på bana 4. Och hur går det nu för Per Johansson?
Han är på 6:e plats där och han håller på att simma ganska bra. Han simmar om Australien i alla fall.
Sverige har passerat Australien men har 4 nationer, kanske till och med 5 framför sig. Halva distansen nu. USA före Tyskland. Sovjet.
1.39.37 på USA. Sverige växlar som 6:e lag. 1.41.75. Det innebär att Per Johansson simmar på 50,14.
Sämre än i försöken på Per Johansson. Vad kan Holmertz göra nu då? Kan han föra upp Sverige? Vi måste vara med uppe kring en bronsmedalj när vi släpper i Werner. Vi måste ha kontakt med antingen Tyskland eller Sovjet. Eller helst med båda. Men nu också Frankrike före Sverige.
Frankrike ger ett bra lopp här. Och för Anders är det bara en växel nu. Det är full fart. Inget taktiksim längre.
USA alltjämt i ledning. Före Tyskland. 3 i Sovjet. Men Sovjet är 2,5. Nästan 3 meter före Sverige. Och jag tycker inte Sverige har just nu någon större känning utav en bronsmedalj. Sverige kommer att växla 5.
USA växlar först 2.28.88 och Sverige växlar faktiskt på 4:e plats 2.31.33.
Då fick Holmertz en bra målgång den här gången. Nu är det Werner. Werner är jämsides med Baildon. Sverige och Australien. Men Werner har just nu inte någon 4:e plats.
Anders simmar på 49.63.
Bättre än i försöken. Och det var inte Holmertz med. 50 meter kvar. USA på väg mot guld. Det är Biondi alltså. Tyskland och Sovjet har medaljplatserna. Och Sverige kommer inte att ha medalj. Sverige kommer inte att ha någon medalj. Det är långt upp till medaljplats. USA klart för guld. Det är hårt mellan Sovjet och Tyskland om silvermedaljen. Och Sverige kan bli 4, för Werner simmar väldigt bra på slutsträckan. Men har inte någon chans att hota. USA, 1.
Det kommer inte upp någon tid här.
Och Sverige blir 4. Inga tider på den elektroniska tavlan, ingen tid i bild.
Ingen tid på datorn.
To finish as hard as he can to make sure that the swimmer on the blocks doesn't actually jump. If they jump, that means that he's gone before the swimmers touch the pads, and the team, of course, are disqualified. In lane 4, the fastest qualifier. Alongside him in lane 5 is Melvin Stewart, the 22-year-old American. And we've hit. Now that is so close to the world record, only 3/10, so if they're going to break that, they might as well go for the world record. So they're on to starters' orders, and they're away clear. Look for Gross to surface first, the top of the men. Last into a stroke, but look at Michael Gross right in the middle of the picture. Nice, lazy stroke. Good arm stretch. And because of his tremendous height, he powers into the lead. So it's Michael Gross in lane number 4, in the middle of the picture. Up the first 50, he really is motoring.
Gross there at the 50, 25.7. That's very fast out for him. And of course, tremendous experience behind him. That well-known stroke, known as the Albatross, still looking good. Even now in 1991, back into World Championship contention, looking good, body length up, and that's a fairly big body for Michael Gross. Last 5 meters coming to the 100, he looks very good shape, David.
He looks tremendously relaxed and turning in a 54.86, so they're half a second under world record pace. Now, has Gross swum this race the correct way? It's probably the only way he knows, but look now at Melvin Stewart from the United States, breathing to the right-hand side, so he's going to be checking out Gross. He's beginning to make a move on this very important leg, the third 50. Stewart really is coming at Gross now. Gross, who's taken the year off, is tiring a little bit, and Stewart is coming at him.
And a very nice comparison of styles there, the shorter, squatter, stronger style of Stewart with that very characteristic right-sided breathing, head turns to the right, against the classic butterfly action of Gross. Head for head now, stroke for stroke, as they get to the last section of this grueling 200 fly.
And this is incredible because Stewart can't see where Gross is. He's swimming this race partially unsighted, but he's got 5 meters to go. He's going to get the gold. Is a world record on? Yes! Melvin Stewart from the United States breaks that world record despite swimming that last length, not knowing exactly. United States, a new world record, 155.69. The silver to Michael Gross from Germany, 156.78. And the bronze going to Tamas Darney, who also got the silver medal.
The two to watch, I think.
I agree with that. So Leland in 2, Saunders in 4. Under starters' orders. And it was Mildred Musa was slow to go down, but she got a great start, and she in lane 7 is leading on the butterfly leg. Also down at the bottom in lane number 2 is a Chinese girl, Li Lin. That's a lovely shot there, you can see to the left of the picture, Li Lin from China, and also to the right it looks like, well, go back to the middle now, it looks like the American Summer Saunders going with her. So it's lane 2 and lane 4 on the butterfly, and I think Saunders is going to touch first after the butterfly leg. And now onto the backstroke. The next leg is going to be breaststroke, and then it's front crawl. So Saunders really making a push on the backstroke. Both these girls are good in breaststroke, but important now for these two to try and consolidate a position on the backstroke. They're beginning to leave the rest of the field behind.
Li Ling there working just a little bit harder, a little bit stronger on the backstroke, and now coming up to challenge the American leader Summer Saunders. Both stroke for stroke now, 5 meters to the 100, and here's the turn from the back, flip over onto the front, good streamlining, one underwater pool, one kick to the surface, and in fact it looked like Li Lin there got a tremendous turn and has a little edge on the American.
Li Lin was extremely strong under the water on that permissible one underwater pool underwater, but Summer Saunders isn't letting her go. Both these girls strong in the breaststroke, and as you can see, the race is really on between these two girls. The rest of the field being left behind. They're going to have to fight for the bronze. These two girls are fighting for the gold, and Li Lin is just going to get the touch, I think, yes. So there's 50 meters to go, It's going to be a close one.
The Americans noted for freestyle finish, but Leland looks so strong in the 400 IM, and they are just edging away a little bit. Saunders seems to be fading. Leland, they are very strong, really got her head down, really aggressive on this freestyle leg.
15 metres to go. Leland getting the head down too. She's going for home. Saunders just beginning to tire a little bit. There's 5 metres now. The gold is going to go to China. The silver to the United States. Who's going to get the bronze? And that was close. It looked like maybe Hunger gold. Summer Saunders from the United States winning the silver. Daniela Hunger from Germany winning the bronze. 2 seconds from freestyle. Right in the middle, the fastest qualifier, the man that won the 100 in such great style, Matt Biondi from the United States. And he really must be one of the favourites. Tremendous speed. And they're away first time. Look at Biondi to come up first, but Jaeger's with them. Tom Jaeger with the cap on. Biondi in lane 4 without the cap. Dano Hassel with a shaved head. There's really nothing in it now. Jaeger might just be slightly ahead, but look at Biondi really turning over. But look at the leg kick of Biondi. There's 5 metres to go. The heads are down. Who's going to get the touch? It looked like Jaeger. Yes, Tom Jaeger, lane 5. 22.16, so that's a new World Championship record by Tom Jaeger. The confirmation of the medals, Tom Jaeger with gold, Matt Biondi with silver, and Prigoda from the Soviet Union with the bronze. And there was a tie for the 4th position. He goes back to 1987, world record progression. Jaeger had it then, 22.32. Biondi 22.14 and 88, then Jaeger back again 22.12. Janet Evans, a world record holder in lane 4, qualified in fastest time for this final. Julie McDonald from Australia in 5. She was the 2nd fastest qualifier. So this is sure to be a good race between.
I think it's going to be about Janet Evans and how she wants to swim this race.
And the slow start from Evans just shows how relaxed she is, but she came up very nicely. And she's right in the middle with that straight arm freestyle stroke. Very effective for her because she's quite light in the water, has got a good strength to weight ratio. And off she goes and already drew up the first 50. Evans seeming to dictate the race already. She must know that she can command exactly how this race goes. And there you can see Evans turning a second already up the first 50, clear of Julie McDonald from Australia in 5. So McDonald, because of that injury, doesn't look too comfortable.
Yes, Julie McDonald seeming to drop out there, and it's the 2 best pals in the German team. They go about together, they train together in the same club, they live in the same area. Grit Muller and Jana Henke, good middle distance freestylers, and still at an early stage in this particular development. And there's Janet Evans. You wonder now, after her tremendous record over the last 4 years, just what motivates her. And I think that today it might be Tracy Wickham's World Championship record, David. It stood a long time, 1978. It's within reach. She looks good. She's going to have to go through in 31, 32 seconds every single lap here to get to that record. So it'll be interesting just to see how her first 200 paces out.
Well, you talk about motivation, and I suppose in this sport of swimming, it is a demanding sport. The training has to be done each day, and you've got to swim a minimum of 4 hours a day to get to this sort of standard. Sometimes somebody like Evans, when they're preparing for the Olympic Games, would probably train just a little bit harder than she would for the World Championships, and would probably push her training up in the summer months, especially up to around 6 hours a day. So a tremendous amount of training these girls do. Now you can see a nice underwater shot of Janet Evans. Comes into the turn, drops the head, flips the body over, hits the wall, pushes off, and that's the only time that she really kicks hard, is actually off the wall. But already, look at that lead. She really is dominating this race. And it was interesting note in the 400 freestyle, she didn't really have it all her own way, because Hayley Lewis, the Australian, was much more competitive in the shorter distance. But it's Evans leading. In 2nd place in lane 6, it's Müller. And in 3rd, it's Jana Henke, also from Germany, down in lane 3.
And on the watch, David, Janet Evans is hitting 31.5 average. That's the time she does for every length of the pool, and that's what she's going to have to hold to be able to get near that 8 minutes and 24.94 time of Tracy Wickham. This is the girl that really did upset a lot of coaches who talked about a balanced, a regular, a nice looking technique for 400. Here's a girl who has a natural 2-beat leg kick at the back there, just legs trailing in relation to the arms. And there, the characteristic circling type of technique, straight arm recovery on the left, but she must be very, very sound under the water. Breathes to the right hand side, to the one side for most of the length. Then as she gets near the turn, you get a little flurry of half a dozen strokes. She throws in a breath to the left to balance up, and then she takes her turn. There it is, head down, feet on the wall, good drive, little kick, as David said, to take her away from the wall and get back into that steady, even pace rhythm. Still holding 31 high, just maybe moving out a little bit on her lap time.
So Drew, when we see her underwater, we can actually see that bent arm stroke, which is so important in front crawl. Of course, even though she's got a straight arm on the recovery, when it's underwater there, you can see it there, the arm bending at the elbow, pulling back towards the stomach, and then exiting thumb on thigh. So she's on World Championship pace. You can see she's off world record pace. At the halfway stage, Janet Evans has a lead of some 15 meters over the rest of the field. So she's going to negative split this race. That means she's going to try and come back the second 400, the same pace as she went out the first 400. But her fitness is questionable. She's not as slim as she was at the Olympic Games in 1988, so she's carrying an extra 4 kilos or 10 pounds. And that certainly is going to slow her down, I think, in this second half of the race.
I just calculated there that it's a funny old game sometimes, the distance freestyle. She's just gone through the 400 in 4:09.74. She won the 400 event in only a second and a half slower in 4:08. So she must have gone out pretty hard here in this first half of the race.
Well, that speed, Drew, has certainly burnt off the rest of the field. Evans now is going to have to do the race all on her own, really. There you can see the margin of her lead over still Grit Mueller in lane 6 and second, and her teammate Jana Henke in third position. It's some 15 meters. Evans really hasn't let up the pressure. She went out very hard at the force fit for the first 400. Her pace beginning to just drop a little bit now, though. But Janet Evans now knows that she can just relax a little bit, because she's going to win that gold medal.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Just checking my own watch, she dropped out to 64.6 for that 500. We should see a time round about 6:17, 6:18 here. Yes, just showing that she's eased it a little bit. She obviously had a little bit of pain from that first 400, and still the style there, perpetual motion, the rhythm needed, no excess of energy output on the 400 and 800 swims. It's got to be even distribution of all the energy that you've put together and got ready for this longest event in the women's program. At championship level, that is. We do swim 1500 meters, but not in these championships.
So Janet Evans, who holds the world record in the 400 meters, the 800, and that 1500 meters that Drew told you isn't in the world or Olympic championships, but she holds that world record. She's spearheading this field, and Julie McDonald, it's a shame, in lane 5 really hasn't put together a good performance. So that niggly injury that she sustained after the heats really holding her back. So with 100 meters to go, Janet Evans against the clock. The time that she wants to beat is 8:24.94. That's the championship record. The world record is definitely out of her reach. That's an 8:16, so she's going to be some 8 seconds off her own world record. But it's tough when you're swimming a race on your own, and I suppose after 700 meters, you get a little bit tired, a little bit bored, especially having to do it on your own.
You're talking about boredom. When Tracy Wickham said one of her best swims, she actually sang a tune to keep herself awake and in rhythm of the stroke. I believe it was from the Eagles album. I wonder what Evans does when she's heading towards this kind of time. The championship time is at contention. Will she make it?
And it's great to see the Australian crowd getting behind her. They are a knowledgeable crowd here, and even though an Australian swimmer isn't coming home now, they are pushing Evans towards this World Championship record. They want to see a World Championship record. Is she going to get it? Head down. Yes! Unofficially, she's broken Tracy Wickham's World Championship record. A record that has lasted for 13 years has now been taken off the record books by Janet Evans from the United States.
Unofficially, Janet Evans of the USA in the new World
1930, it was 12 minutes 12. It improved in the 40s down to 11 minutes, then to 10, then to 9. And now we can see in the 90s, 19 years of age. And there you can see her height, 172 centimeters. And look at her record though. Olympic gold in 3 events, 400 freestyle, 800 freestyle, and the 400 individual medley. So tough events for Evans. There's her world records. 1, 2, 3 world records, 400, 800, and 1500 free. And in the World Championships in Perth, 400 individual medley, she was 4th. Man in the middle, in lane 4 is Jeff Rouse from the United States. He qualified this morning in a very fast 55.34. And that time equaled, or in fact was a
Shorter backstroke.
Well, in lane 1, Stefano Battistelli, who's won bronze and silver. Don't think he's going to win gold in this. But a good start from Jeff Rouse. Look at that dolphin kick from Jeff Rouse in lane 4, and that takes him straight into the lead with Frank Hoffmeister in lane number 2. Jeff Rouse, a 20-year-old from Virginia. Good dolphin kick off the start, and he's straight into the stroke and straight into the lead.
But Tewksbury coming back at him even after 50 metres, the Commonwealth Games champion of Canada. There you see the turn, the dolphin kick off the wall to get power. Tewksbury holds it a little bit too long, loses a little bit of distance, but it's Tewksbury without the cap against Rouse in the white cap of America.
And this is where Tewksbury's going to come hard. Tewksbury's got the good finish. Jeff Rouse got a tremendous start, tremendous turn. Look at Tewksbury without the cap against Jeff Rouse, and also Lopez Zubero, the great finisher. There's nothing in it between Tewksbury and Rouse. Who's going to get the touch? Oh, it's hard to tell, but it looked like Jeff Rouse from the United States, unofficially from Canada with the silver, 55.29, and Martin Lopez Zubero from Spain with the bronze. His time, 55.7 at the Olympic Games, and they're doing it again here at the World Championships. Now let's take a look at the world record progression. And from 1910 it improved to 114, and then in the 60s it was 101, and then it was down to Soviet Union not putting a team in, and we had 2 disqualifications, and those 2 teams that were disqualified this morning were Denmark and Italy.
In lane 1.
So the fastest qualifier was United States. In lane 1 we've got the team from Mexico of Sanchez, Munoz, Gaja and Rivera. So the race is backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, and then front crawl. 100 meters of each stroke.
In lane 2, represented by Ellen Elzeman.
In lane 2, we find the team from the Netherlands, and they're represented by Elzeman, Boulton, De Bruin, and Karen Brines.
In lane 3, represented by Sharon Page.
And in lane 3, the team from Great Britain, Sharon Page, Lorraine Coombs, Madeleine Campbell, and Karen Pickering.
In lane 4.
So they qualified in 3rd fastest position, so they might be able to manage a bronze here, the British team. In lane 4 is a team from the United States, and they must be the favourites for gold in this event. Wagstaff, McFarlane, Aman Leighton and Heislett.
Livingston.
And in lane 5, the Australian team, second fastest qualifier, so I'm sure they're going to give the Americans a good run for their money. They've got their crowd behind them. And Nicole Livingston, Frame O'Neill and Van Urdum. And there we have the team from Germany. It's Schlich, Doriez, Avents and Stelmark. And the Germans, as a united team, nowhere near as strong as the two separate teams, especially the East German teams who used to dominate women's swimming, but they're not dominating it anymore. In lane 7, there we have the team from Canada. The Canadians not swimming at all well at these championships, but they're under starters' orders for the second time. And they're away, clean. And the dolphin kick coming from the American swimmer, Janie Wagstaff, and she's already into the lead for the American team. Wagstaff, who did so well in the individual 100 backstroke, winning a bronze medal, is now leading for the United States.
Yes, Hungary took 1 and 2 in the shorter sprint event in the individual. So, as expected, Jenny Wagstaff, the bronze medalist, taking America into a good lead at the 50, 29.56. That looks set for a 61, and that would be a very good time for her. Coming into second place now, it's Germany in the form of Svenja Slick, and Australia also holding well through Nicole Livingston.
So important for the United States to get a good lead here, because coming in for Australia is going to be Lindley Frame, who did so well in the individual breaststroke events. And it's America in first position. They're in now, and in for the United States, as Drew said, Tracy McFarlane, and in for Australia, it's Lindley Frame. So this is going to be an interesting leg, with Lindley Frame being pushed on by this large Australian crowd here, making a little bit of headway now on Tracy McFarlane from the United States. But the United States still with a body length lead over Australia in second position. But it's Frame coming hard up the first 50 on the breaststroke leg, and McFarlane is really going to have to motor down this length if she's going to hold the lead.
Tracy McFarlane hasn't been competing well recently, and Lindley Frame, who's on a roll, who's on a high, now eating up that lead in this technical leg of the medley relay. Lindley Frame up on the shoulder of the American, now challenging. Also coming well above Lindley Frame is Jana Doriez, a medalist from the individual breaststroke for Germany. So it's America, Australia, or Australia, America, and Germany.
So a great leg there being swum by Lindley Frame of Australia. It's neck and neck. Who's going to get a better start? Great start for Australia, Suzanne O'Neill, and in for the United States, it's Aman Leighton. So this race is really on between Australia and the United States. And the butterfly leg has to be a good one for the Australians, because going in for the United States on the final leg is going to be Nicole Heislett, the winner of the gold medal in the 100 free. So she's the fastest 100 freestyle swimmer in the world this year. It's neck and neck with 50 meters to go on the butterfly leg.
And Susan O'Neill swimming the race of her life as she tries to get Australia into a slight lead here as we hand over from butterfly to freestyle. They know Heislett has the form. They know that Karen van Werden is just not quite the same standard. And Australia, in the form of Susan O'Neill, just getting the lead they need. What a swim by Susan.
So O'Neill coming again down the last 5 meters. The lead is going to be Australia's. That's Van Worden in for Australia, and Nicole Heislett just behind her. But look at Van Worden go down this 50 meters of the 100 meters freestyle. She really is motoring. Maybe she's just going a little bit too quick, because she's got Nicole Heislett from the United States breathing down her neck. The turn is going to be important. Who's going to get the best turn? Is it Australia or the United States? And what a turn there by the American swimmer, Drew.
Absolutely incredible. The stronger, heavier Nicole Heislett has just taken it off the wall. She's into the lead, edging every stroke, taking her another meter ahead. Australia, what a disappointment. looking good. The crowd seem to have faded. They must know that victory is going to the Americans.
And that turn just killed the challenge of Australia. Stone dead as America bring this home. Another gold medal today for the United States. Nicole Heislett wins another gold. And what a shame, the Australian challenge really just burnt out on that turn. Their time 4:06.51. Australia with the silver, their time 4:08.04. And Germany winning the bronze, time 4:10.50. Started in 1960 at 4:41, that was an American record. By 1970 it dropped to 4:27, that was also United States. 80, 4:06, that was Egypt.
Til finale hit Mette Jacobsen og Susanne Müller på bane nummer 4. Mette Jacobsen har vi allerede i startposition. Starten gået perfekt med Haley Lewis fra Australien, der fik det bedste afsæt. Mette Jacobsen her ligger på en 4. plads efter starten. Men det er amerikaneren Summer Sanders, verdensranglistens nummer 1, der fører efter 25 meter.
Ja, Haley Lewis kom hurtigt fra starten, nok også for hurtigt. Der var simpelthen 20 start der, men det blev ikke dømt. Men Summer Sanders lægger hårdt ud. Det gjorde hun også i indledende, og vi vil se hende gå frem. Hun er trods alt storfavoritten i det her løb. Spørgsmålet er, om hun ryster med det hårde udlæg.
Summer Sanders vinder først i 29,25. Mette Jacobsen på anden pladsen i 30,20. Netop det, som Erik Nielsen havde håbet på. Men, vi kan se Mette her med de hvide badebriller. Spørgsmålet er altså, om hun har lagt for hårdt ud med det.
Ja, Mette lægger helt tilfredsstillende ud. Det kører godt for Mette. Hun ligger lige på en snært anden plads. Og tempoet kører ligesom det skal. Spørgsmålet for Mette, hun har svært ved at komme hurtigt ud. Hun går nogle gange en lille smule for langt bagefter, men jeg tror, hun kommer til sidst. Det ser rigtig godt ud for Mette.
Summer Sanders vinder først. Mette Jacobsen på anden pladsen på sølvmedaljepladsen her, hvor der mangler 100 meter. Og Mette Jacobsen er normalt en langsom starter, så det er forbløffende, at Mette Jacobsen har lagt sig stærkt ud. Hvad der undrer mere, det er, at den hurtige japaner Shito på bane nummer 4 ikke rigtig kan være med. Ligger i øjeblikket på en del 3. plads, men Mette Jacobsen er ved at gå lidt død her, hvor der mangler 75 meter. Mette Jacobsen nu blot på 3. pladsen. Det er amerikaneren Summer Sanders, der fører med næsten halvanden længde. Mette Jacobsen på 3. pladsen og hugger meget i det her med 50 meter tilbage. Mette Jacobsen er på anden pladsen nu her i vendingen. Men det er stadigvæk Summer Sanders, der vinder først på anden pladsen. Mette Jacobsen på 3. pladsen næsten side om side med Mette Jacobsen er det Haley Lewis fra Australien. Mette Jacobsen holder anden pladsen her, hvor der mangler 25 meter. Vinder ind på Summer Sanders. Mette Jacobsen ligger til sølv, men nu kommer japaneren Shito på bane nummer 4. Og altså Australien Haley Lewis er med. Mette Jacobsen er blot på 4. pladsen nu. Kan ikke være med i opløbet. Det bliver USA, der vinder. Og Mette Jacobsen får ikke medalje, tror jeg. Japan bliver nummer 2, og Mette Jacobsen bliver blot nummer 5. Mette Jacobsen lå på og nordiske rekord.
Det er en flot tid af Mette, og hun bliver nummer 5 i verden.
Lars Sørensens præstation i formiddag. Jeg plejer bare, at vi nu stiller forventningerne for højt. Det er en præstation, der bestemt kan tåle sammenligning med de præstationer til anden startforsøg, og det går rigtigt. Lars Sørensen altså på bane nummer 5, og vi skal tælle banerne fra nærmest billede. Lars Sørensen får en pæn start, ligger på 3. pladsen her efter 25 meter. Man starter jo med butterfly, og derefter bliver det rygsvømning, så bryst og så crawl.
Ja, Lars skal bare tage det forholdsvis roligt, for når vi siger roligt, så var det 27-45 i indledende. Han gik på de første 50 meter forholdsvis roligt, og så slå til i brystsvømningen, ligesom han gjorde i indledende.
27,2 til Lars Sørensen. Det var lidt for roligt, han ventede faktisk sidst.
Ja, han skal passe lidt på. Han prøver nok på at gentage den samme taktik, men de 3 tiendedele, de kommer altså ikke til at betyde noget. Det er de sidste 1.500 meter, der bliver afgørende her. Men han må altså endelig ikke komme for langt bagefter. Men han skal heller ikke køre efter Darni. Darni er i særklasse.
Og Lars Sørensens svageste disciplin er butterfly. I rygcrawl er han betydeligt bedre. Og så vi jo altså, at han i brystsvømningen i formiddag virkelig imponerede. Lars Sørensen er stadig på sidste pladsen. Det ser ikke for godt ud, men nu kommer brystsvømningen, og han er på vej lidt op i feltet. Ligger så på en 6. plads, men det er stadigvæk Thomas Darni, der fører klart og suverænt, helt som vi havde ventet. På anden pladsen Erik Namesny fra USA, og på 3. pladsen er det bane nummer 6 Christian Gessner fra Tyskland. Men Lars Sørensen er fremme nu.
ligger på en 4. eller en 5. plads her, hvor der mangler 50 meter. Det er Kohl, det bliver Thomas Darni, der vinder først foran Medley, og Lars Sørensen vinder på en 5. plads. Lars Sørensen på bane nummer 5 vinder på en 5. plads. Er uden for medaljerækkefølgen i øjeblikket, skal Danmark få endnu en lige ved næsten. Thomas Darni kan ikke røre. Medley ligger til sølvet. Lars Sørensen ligger blot på 4. pladsen i øjeblikket, eller 5. pladsen. Kæmper hårdt med Christian Gessner for ikke medalje. Det bliver guld til Thomas Darni, sølv til Medley, og Lars Sørensen kommer ind på en skuffende og ærgerlig 5. plads, også selvom hans tid 2 minutter 02,3. Jeg kan ikke gøre det. I dag har vi en dansk svømmer tilbage i finaleafsnittene. Det er Tine Lund, der er med i en bil. Og her har kineserne altså været gode nok. 2 stykker i finalen, svømmer ikke. Så kom feltet rigtigt afsted. Og bedst fra start, bane nummer 2, Lian Peter fra USA, der har taget føringen her efter 20 meter. På anden pladsen er det bane nummer 5, Yong fra Kina. Men det er Lian Peter fra USA, der har taget føringen. Bane nummer 5, kineserne med fremme. Duel mellem USA og Kina, men nu kommer Kinas svømmer, og det bliver kinesisk sejr. Xuang vinder i 25,...
Unexpected, but that's the lineup. Manuela Stelmark from Germany, Simon Osigas from Germany, Ermakova from the Soviet Union, Klawinski from France in 4, Heislet from USA, and
For these types of swimmers.
I don't think we'll get a full start here. No, we didn't. And Klawinski in lane number 4 with that star rating of 5, got a tremendous start. Klawinski in lane number 4 is just slightly in the lead. Manuela Stelmark at the bottom of the picture from Germany, not swimming as well as we've seen her before. But look at Klawinski go up the first 50. We'll be able to check the 50 split to see if she's on world record pace. She's got to be 24.98. She's 26.22, so we can forget the world record. The gold medal is the thing that Klawinski is after. It looks like she's going to get it, but don't forget the young American in lane number 5, Nicole Haslett. She's a good finisher.
Catherine Klawinski just where we wanted her. She's now fighting very hard against Nicole Haslett. She's challenging every stroke. The American is getting closer. Also above is Zhuang Hong of China. It's a close finish.
And that was a close finish. France with the silver, 55.31. And Yang Dung from China, 55.65 with the bronze. Christian Poswaite from Germany, Eric Wunderlich from the United States in 2, Dmitry Volkov from the Soviet Union in 3, and they're off first time. Morehouse with a good start, and also Rosa in lane number 4. But in lane number 3 is Volkov with the yellow cap, the first to show. Also Poswaite at the bottom of your picture without the cap is going extremely well. And also Ron Decker in lane number 7 at the top of your picture, going extremely fast up the first 50. But that is the man Volkov with the yellow cap on, who's going to turn first, we think, at the 50. 28.70 they turn in. The race is on now. Morehouse is really going to have to go.
It's a tremendous turn. It's under world record pace, David. They're all in a line, and it's going to be about this last 20 metres, and checking that your finish is absolutely spot on. Volkov still holding. We know he's always strong, but will he fade on this occasion?
So it's Volkov, Morehouse in second position. Rosa seems to be out of it now, but Rosa is a very fast finisher. Rosa and Morehouse are going. There's 5 metres to go. It looks like Rosa's going to get it. Yes! Rosa, a new world record. 101.45. We knew he finished fast. He was in third position. Britain 101.58, and the bronze going to Gianni Minervini, 101.74. Minervini from Italy, and 8 lengths of the pool. 100 meters butterfly, which is tough enough for a lot of swimmers, but after that they've got to swim the 100 backstroke, and they've got the 100 breaststroke, and that usually separates them, and then the 100 freestyle. Should be an interesting race. So as expected in the 400 individual medley, no false starts. It's not such a rush to get in the water, but still important to enter that water relaxed and in the right frame of mind. So here we have the butterfly leg, and it looks like Lindley from China in lane number 6, nearly at the top of your picture, leading. In second place it looks like Janet Evans or Summer Saunders in lane number 4. Yes, it's Saunders in second position, and also swimming well in lane number 2, Petra Hausman on this butterfly. But Saunders looking extremely relaxed on the butterfly. Lindley in lane 6 also looking quite comfortable, and Hayley Lewis in lane number 5 looking extremely relaxed. Janet Evans, who's not renowned for sprint ability on the butterfly, just willing to pace herself and stay in around 6th position.
Summer Saunders there looking a nice relaxed stroke, very shallow kind of butterfly as she comes to the end of the first leg of this 4x100 medley swim. Change from the double arm butterfly onto the backstroke. People will think it looks relaxed, but in fact you have to work very, very hard under the water and constantly. We have Hayley Lewis from Australia in the yellow hat now pressing Summer Saunders of America. Also coming through, Lynn Lee on the backstroke. That's the first 3 there heading the field in the centre of the picture. Saunders just being overtaken by the Australian girl, and as you hear the increased roar of the Australian crowd showing good patriotism and good support for their local swimmer.
Yes, and the minute that Lewis goes into the lead, no doubt that support and roar will increase. Janet Evans also in lane 3, keeping in contention with the leaders, but Summer Saunders saw the challenge of Lewis. She met that challenge and she's increased the lead to half a body over Hayley Lewis. In 3rd position it's still Lin Lee from China, but that's the leader, Summer Saunders. She looked very relaxed on the butterfly. She looks extremely comfortable on the backstroke. But look at Evans now. She's moving up into 2nd position. So this race is going to be a tremendous battle between these 4 girls. Saunders leading, Lewis in 2nd position, Janet Evans in 3rd, and Lin Lee from China in 4th. Who's got the better of the breaststroke?
As we know, a key leg in the medley swim, whether it's 200 or 400, is breaststroke. It has to be technically good, and after the first 200 meters, of course, the swimmer is tired, is now getting into the middle phase of the race. This is where the long hours of training pay off. Notice the Chinese, the build, bringing them through on the breaststroke. Evans slipping a little on this breaststroke. Hayley Lewis hanging in there in 2nd place. But it's Saunders who's, apart from the first 15 meters, is now holding her lead.
So a very important leg for Saunders here. She knows that Janet Evans, who's a double gold medalist on the freestyle events, the 400, 800 meters freestyle from the Olympic Games, is going to challenge on the 100 meters freestyle at the end of this 4x1 IM. So Saunders has got to push his breaststroke. That means she's going to be tired on the front crawl. Hayley Lewis also a good freestyler, but it's Saunders from the United States in 1st, Lin Lee from China in 2nd. A meter behind them is Lewis from Australia, and then Janet Evans from the United States some 4 meters back. So Saunders with 100 meters to go. She's just off world record pace. She's got to finish in under a minute to break that world record, which really isn't on. But look now at Lin Lee from China. This could be a surprise. She looks like she's powering ahead now. There's around 70 meters to go. The race is on between Lin Lee of China and Summer Saunders of the United States. But look at Hayley Lewis in lane 5. She's going for it. Evans is out of it. Evans has burnt herself on the breaststroke. The race is on for gold between Lee and Saunders.
Lee and Saunders turning there, feet to the boards, feet to the time pads, exactly together. Lewis coming through now. Every stroke Lewis seems to be hauling it back. The Australians are going mad on the poolside here. Summer Saunders, the stroke is slowing. Did she put too much into the early part of the race? They're all together now as they come to 15 meters to go.
Don't ask me for a winner out of these 3. It's anybody's race now, but Lee and Lewis are going for gold. Who's going to get it? There's 5 meters to go. There's nothing in it between them. It's going to go down to the line. Time 4:41, and it's a Chinese girl, Lin Lee from China, just by the narrowest of margins.